What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more orchestral maneuvers in the dark. And indeed, I wanted to give a big shout out to not only Han Solo, who shared his best of OMD, which will give us a chance to, sample some songs from different albums, but also Seb, who's given me access to some full albums of OMD, including their debut album, 1980, self-titled Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. So we're going to start going through that now. So once again, shout out to Seb. I really do appreciate you, man. Just, I'm massively fond of the approach to the comments and just sort of the way that you share information, but also offer your opinions and, some personal anecdotes. Bottom line, big fan of you. Very happy that you follow the channel. So yeah, we're going to listen to the first tune on the self-titled album. As I said, this is 1980. Do I have that right? Yes, I do. So the first tune is called Bunker Soldiers. An interesting phrase, a phrase that sort of invokes immediately to me, sort of World War I or Great War imagery, the idea of sort of trench warfare, people sort of battened down in bunkers, either, sort of trying to avoid aerial bombardment or, waiting to have to advance into what will surely be a hail of cannon fire and gunfire and so on. So it makes me think of sort of the most brutal and violent aspects of military conflict, I suppose, and we could perhaps be getting a metaphorical rendering of that phrase, the idea of having to hunker down in a bunker of your life to avoid emotional shelling and to avoid being emotionally shell-shocked. I suppose there could be different figurative manifestations, but without further context, again, it's hard not to think about sort of military imagery and the idea of, soldiers in sort of 20th century military helmets sort of waiting in a bunker for, whatever the opportunity to, move or to advance or whatever it is. So, again, perhaps this will be about the idea of sheltering in order to avoid bombardment and ultimately trauma, however that might come to be. But again, this is just a speculation based on the title. This might have nothing to do with the song. And I've been saying this recently. There's been several times in the last couple weeks where I'll speculate about a title and I do kind of approach one of the themes, but I'm approaching it kind of from the wrong direction or with the wrong sort of context in mind. So, I imagine this will continue to be the case where I may get to the edges of some of the actual ideas in the song, but because, I'm not working from a larger context of understanding, it'll be sort of glancing or tangential in terms of actually getting at the substance of the line. So let's see if that's the case here. This is Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark from their self-titled album. It's the first song, and again, this is 1980, and the song is called Bunker Soldiers. Oh, wow. I like the pace. Oh. Whoa. That is a funky synth bass line. I was not ready for that. It's got a tension. It's got a bit of anxiety to it. But also some smoothness, yeah.
Coordination, is that a better way for bunker soldiers? Though it's so nice a way to spend the war. A lot of ditches and sandy seasides, those their bodies are surface now there. They never taught them how to fight like that. The object's exercise is so compulsive. It's not a better way, but it's no success.
It's not a better way, but what?
Fight like you.
I like the sort of electrical charm of it. And that big sweeping. Oh, marching. Polyphonic, unsettling. This is crazy. This is not what I expected. picking up as many of the lines. You're gonna have to re-listen to this. It feels kind of like, again, marching military rhythm, but like anxious, like like under siege. This is brilliant. I like the challenging sonics of that. Again, sometimes like dissonance hits my brain in different ways, but that was like a bit sort of uncomfortable, a bit tension filled, a bit anxious, but in a way that was my brain was very much enjoying. Again, lyrically, I only picked up on a bit, like, you know, a phrase here, like a word here, maybe half of a line there, and part of it is just maybe his voice. It was kind of like buried under that sort of pad synth layer in a couple places, so got to give it some more listens. Again, eventually, when I re-listen to a song multiple times, I tend to pick up on more lyrics, and if there's still an issue where, like, just because of the way it sounds, there's like a line that I just for the life of me cannot figure out, eventually I will look it up. I do try to like engage with the song sonically as much as possible, but like I said, if I really can't like crack a line in terms of what exactly is being said, I will eventually look it up. But yeah, gotta give it some more listens. I really enjoyed that though, and it was more audacious and sort of wicked in terms of the sonics and the sort of like demanding nature of it than I expected. Again, my only really context, as I was reminded of, is the tune If You Leave. And so yeah, when I was thinking about OMD, when I reacted to the extended version of Concrete Hands, that was sort of the only touchstone I had. And then that tune, Concrete Hands, it was different, but it was, you know, it was different from this too. So already after, you know, a couple songs and my knowledge of one of their big hits, it seems like maybe they got some different flavors and maybe there's an evolution of their sound. I believe, you know, Han Solo or maybe a couple people have even mentioned that like over time it's another group that kind of evolved in terms of exactly the type of music they were making. So do let me know what you think of this one. I'm excited to go through this album. Once again, big ups to Seb, big ups to Han Solo as well. I appreciate all the people who are sharing music with me and sort of allowing this party and different deep dives to not only continue but to, you know, go more extensively than they would be able to in the short term. So yeah, big ups to all of you. Let me know what you think of the song. I'll see you next time.